My mom used a spare key to walk into my honeymoon suite at 3 a.m. and acted like she was just checking on us. 6 weeks later, a judge told her if she contacted me again, she'd be arrested. I stepped out and saw her sitting on the edge of our bed in travel clothes, a key card dangling from her fingers. My wife stood by the window in her robe, arms crossed, face blank in that polite way that hides fury. I tried calling 8 times, sweetheart, my mom said. We turned our phones off, I said. We're on our honeymoon. She smiled and lifted the card. I called the front desk. They gave it to me. There's ability NENC dolling this reeling vistas of that or not reeling this seed. Looking back, I don't know what's worse, that she flew across the ocean over a missed call or that someone handed her access like it was adorable. My wife said it slowly, each word heavy. You got a key, flew to Hawaii, and let yourself in at 3 in the morning. My mom's voice went wounded. Stress affects my blood pressure. You know that. I kept wondering why my first reaction wasn't anger. Why did I feel guilty when she was the one trespassing? Was I really about to apologize to her in my own honeymoon room? My wife walked past her, grabbed her phone, and locked herself in the bathroom. The click sounded final. My mom squeezed my hand like I was still 10. She'll understand when you have kids, she whispered. First, my wife came out fully dressed, phone in hand. Then she looked at my mom, steady and silent. Next, she said, Patricia, the manager is coming up. Exbraces, and they're with Oz and Offides, and they read her into Stom. After that, she added, you're checking out tonight. Again, my mom rattled a bag of vitamins onto the dresser. Then she turned to me, hand to her chest. Tell her she's overreacting. Finally, I said, she's not. You need to leave. Now. This wasn't new. My mom called nonstop, showed up unannounced, and cried when I pushed back. She'd spent my whole adult life treating my privacy like a suggestion. I used to call it love because that word hurt less than the truth. Seeing my wife lock herself away from her on our honeymoon made it obvious. My normal was someone else's nightmare. The hotel moved us to a new room. The next morning, I had 18 missed calls. On day 4, she called my boss and told him I was in a mental health crisis and my wife was isolating me. My boss told me to document everything and talk to HR. We flew home early. Her car was in our assigned spot, like she'd been waiting for the credits to roll. She has a key, I said. My wife didn't blink. Not anymore. I changed the locks. My mom was sitting in our hallway with boxes stacked around her. Clothes, photo albums, kitchen stuff. She stood up, offended. My key doesn't work. That's correct, my wife said, unlocking the door. You don't have access. My mom pointed at the boxes. I'm moving in. You clearly can't take care of yourself. That's when I realized love isn't supposed to feel like debt. It isn't supposed to come with a claim on your home. My wife pulled out her phone. Leave in 5 minutes or I call the police. My mom stared at me, waiting for me to choose her and make my wife the villain. Mom, I said quiet. Go home. She cried, real this time. You're choosing her over me. Yes, I said, because you're trying to move into my marriage. After that, it got uglier fast. False welfare checks. Relatives calling to accuse my wife of abuse. A lawyer, a no-contact letter, then my mom filing a report anyway. When a cop asked me privately if I was being controlled, I said no, and I watched him write down false complaint, like he'd done it before. The restraining order hearing was the final blow. Our lawyer brought records. The hotel breach, the workplace call, the doorstep move-in attempt, the fake reports. The judge granted 5 years of no contact and warned her about arrest. My mom looked at me like I'd betrayed her, but for the first time, I didn't fold. Some family took her side and disappeared. The silence hurt, but it was clean. I still hear her sweetheart tone in my head sometimes, trying to pull me back into that old contract. I don't pick up. A year later, we went back to Maui. Same resort, different room, phones off on purpose. On the balcony, my wife asked, do you regret it? I didn't. I regret that it was necessary, I said. I don't regret protecting us.